Inter Milan have just hit rock bottom, being smashed 5-0 by PSG in the Champions League final, bottling the league title and crushing out the Coppa Italia. It's time for a full reset in this FC25 Inter Milan rebuild. And here is the Inter Milan team that just got beaten 5-0 in the Champions League final a few hours ago for me at the time of recording this by PSG. So you can see the 5 at the back formation. We're going to change it slightly. DiMarco and Dumfries were playing as attacking wing-backs in this team, so that's what we're going to change in the tactics-wise. We're going to let go of a few of the older players. It's Jan Sommer, an older goalkeeper, 35. We're going to let him go and bring in a young goalkeeper to take over the role. Cherby will be leaving. I'm going to let go of Mkhitaryan and bring, actually didn't mean to back out there, bring Fratesi into the first team, see what he can do in this team alongside, obviously, a midfield partnership of Barella, Çalhanoğlu, and obviously Fratesi. Our front two will stay the same for now anyway, with Thuram and Lautaro Martinez as the front two. But let's get into the transfer window. Let's improve this Inter team. Let's bring Zalewski in on a permanent deal like he's going to be doing at IRL. And we'll bring Inter back to not only the top of Italian football, but to the top of European football. And the budget before bringing in players is 60 million, and after selling players, this budget will change. And I will show you what a new budget is for this season to bring in new players into this team. And as you can see, our budget is now 107 million. I'll show you why that is, because we've sold a bunch of players. There's some older players that have left the team. Going to run you through it real quick and just show you who we have sold. We have obviously let go of Stefan de Vrij, Mkhitaryan's headed back over to Arsenal, Cherby's left, Joaquin Crey's left. We let go of our older goalkeeper in Di Gennaro. We've loaned out Kobani and Zalewski. We also did bring in Zalewski on a permanent deal, and we loaned him out as well. We're going to loan him out anyway to Lazio. As you can see here, he's got loaned out. He actually has gone through because I wanted to get game time elsewhere, and he's not going to get game time currently in this team. But getting to the transfer window, as you can see in the team right now, we need a new centre back, and we're going to bring one in. We need possibly more midfielders, especially some young backup players to possibly take over in this team in the future. And let's get into the transfer window and buy some quality backup players and a first team centre back for this team. And becoming our first signing here, other than Zalewski, is Scalavitti, a young Italian centre back, 78 rated, 20 years of age. Will be our new central defender in this back 3/back 5, as he's taken over from Stefan de Vrij, and also a Cherby in that position to partner with obviously Bastoni and Benjamin Pavard in the back line. He's a great young talent, 20 years of age, will serve Inter for a long period of time. 30 million we had to pay for him. He now is the centrepiece of our incredible defence. And signing here for Torino, from Torino, is Samuel Ricci, the 22-year-old, 76 rated, I believe, or 78 rated central midfielder. He linked to Inter Milan IRL currently. Is a big toy looking at the Italian midfielder, 20 years of age. Also, he can be a central defensive midfielder or a centre midfielder. He's a very versatile midfielder, can come into the team and possibly is our long-term replacement for Hakan Çalhanoğlu in that CDM role. So Ricci joins us to be our second signing in this team and will be another great Italian player for us here at Inter. And next up through the door here is Petar Sucic, a Croatian midfielder. They have actually signed IRL from Dinamo Zagreb, a very, very good young Croatian midfielder. He's a very good young talent. I play that people have kind of stepped on. Not many people talk about Petar Sucic. I've seen some highlights of him. He's a very, very good midfielder. And next season will be playing for Inter Milan and could have a big role to play in their midfield. Possibly next Matej Kovacic for Inter. He used to play there. But Sucic joins us here. We'll loan him out in the first season. Cost us 10 million to join from Zagreb, and with a great young talent, can possibly take over in the first team in the future. And becoming our final signing of this window is another player that Inter are heavily looking into bringing into the team next season. Is Jonathan David, a Canadian striker leaving Lille on a free transfer IRL. As a bunch of suitors that he could go to an Inter or a team leading the chase for him are looking to sign and get his signature on the contract and get him into the striker role. He will be a backup striker to Lautaro and Marcus Thuram this season. The Canadian signs for us at 20 years of age, 82 rated, a great talent, and could possibly take over to say if Lautaro or Thuram leave, David will be there to fill in the hole. But he joins us here to be our last signing of the window, and let's see how this new team looks. Alright, so after spending 100 million on this team, this is how the new Inter team looks. I see only one new signing for the first team in Scalavitti to be a centrepiece to this defence, alongside Bastoni, Pavard, Dumfries and DiMarco, another Italian joining the team. As you can see, Fratesi steps into the first team alongside Çalhanoğlu and Nicola Barella in the centre mid roles. We have brought in some backup players to future-proof this team. As we know, IRL, Inter Milan are a very, very old team in terms of the average rating of the team. They literally were the oldest team in the Champions League this season, and we saw that in the final, bringing in the likes of Jonathan David, Ricci, Petr Sušić will go out on loan, and also obviously other players as well that we do have at the team out on loan. Currently, it brings the average age of the team down quite a lot. Obviously, these are players that can take over in the future. Asllani, Sušić, David, Ricci are all ready to take over in the team if an injury comes into place for Tessie or Brada, literally Ricci, Zielinski, and Sušić etc. will be there, and obviously Scavini, young defender, will be the centrepiece of this backline. Jan Sommer is still here because I didn't get any offers for him, so I'm going to keep him for this season due to being a high-rated goalkeeper. I'll keep him for season 1 and then bring in a different goalkeeper next season depending on how we do. But let's simulate the first season and see how this new look into team can perform. And I will learn out Sušić, by the way. He'll go out on loan, and so we can gain time elsewhere. He doesn't just rot on the bench here and lose his potential. But the rest of them will stay here, and we have a pretty strong bench. If we need to get any injuries, etc. We can definitely fill in some holes in this team due to the depth we now have. Alright, so here at the end of the season, I can see we finished second in the league, 1 point off the title of Atalanta, finished on 85 points. We finished on 84 points in second place. Unfortunately, just missing out on the title, going down to the final day in the Super Cup. We beat Milan in the final to win that one. Love to see it. So we won 1 trophy this season, the Coppa Italia. We also beat Milan in this final, so it's 2 trophies, defeating AC Milan in the final, both of them. However, in the Champions League, we've reached the final against PSG. I was not expecting back-to-back finals in the Champions League, especially against PSG again. Honestly, they just lost 5-0. I rolled to this PSG team. So obviously in the round of 16 we took on, where are we? In the round of 16 we beat Liverpool 4-2. Okay, that's a big victory there. We then took on in the next season, we're not to AC Milan at the Champions League as well. In the semi-finals we beat Man City and they beat Real Madrid. We take on Paris Saint-Germain here in the final. Let's look into the team, how it's going to look going into this final here in terms of the growth of the team this season. I can see Lautaro and Turan growing nicely. Midfield looking pretty good as well. We're for Tessie up to an 85, Brother 80. Our defense looking great as well. Scavini going from a 78 rating up to an 81 rating. You look to see Sommer holding out at the 81 rating, as you can see as well. Our backup players looking pretty good. I see Jonathan David up to an 83, Ricci up to a 79 as well. And I see a couple of our backup players looking pretty good as well. Let's simulate this game now in the fun against PSG, and I do want to win multiple Champions Leagues in this room. I don't just want to win one, but let's see if we actually can win one first of all. Up against PSG, can we get revenge for what happened this season a few hours ago for me? Can Inter get revenge in the Champions League final, beat PSG to win the Champions League this season? Let's see. It is a penalty shootout in the end, 0-0, and we win on penalties. 5-3 with Davide Frattesi scoring the decisive penalties to see us beat PSG a season after losing a Champions League final to them. We go back to back against them, and this time beat them though. Let's see, and win our first Champions League of the season. So we do of this rebuild, I should say. So we won multiple trophies this season. We won the Super Cup, the Coppa Italia, and also the Champions League. Let's see how the players performed into the stats there. I thought I'd just do this as one long clip here. Hakan Çalhanoğlu is our top goal scorer, 29 goals and 12 assists from CDM at the age of 31. That's insane. A CDM with that amount of goals is insane. Lautaro Martinez, 26 and 13. Turan, 24 and 13. Barella doing quite good as well. Esposito on loan, have a great loan spell to see that as well. In terms of the assists, I imagine Turan is the top assist, as you can see. Ricci, 2 and 3 in this first season as a backup player, not too bad. In 14 games, he only played 14 games for us. Okay, I'm hoping in the future can play more games. He should be a player that's going to take over in the team eventually. I'm going to confirm him to a CDM as well, so he might get more game time that way around. But next season, we're going to bring in a new goalkeeper to replace Jan Sommer and possibly some more backup players for this team. We're sold to Remy, bring in maybe another striker, or maybe bring Esposito back from his loan to partner with Jonathan David as backup strikers and keep improving this team, because right now we've won the Champions League, like I mentioned. We've won 1 Champions League, we've won 2 trophies in Italy, just missed out on the Scudetto. So it's getting to season 2 and hopefully do more of the same and we'll win more trophies. And joining us here in season 2 is Diogo Costa, the young Portuguese shotstopper, obviously playing for Porto Airo. We just signed him here from Chelsea. Obviously linked heavily to Manchester City if Edison does leave them. Costa is one of the favourites to replace him at Manchester City, but he's running himself at 65 million, 85 rated, 25 years of age, I believe, at this point. So a much more experienced goalkeeper than some other goalkeepers I was looking at. I was thinking about Alisson from Liverpool, and also maybe Lunin from Real Madrid, but I thought Costa was a perfect replacement for Jan Sommer. Decently young, was a very, very good quality goalkeeper, and could be a great first-team goalkeeper for us in this team this season. And signing to replace Matteo Domini as a backup right back for us in this team is Takehiro Tomiyasu. He was a very, very good defender when he was in Italy. As he went to Arsenal, things have already gone to plan for him in a few years. It's been as the injuries and just lack of being able to find his place in the Arsenal defence have hindered his time. But he joins us here at Inter, be a backup centre back, such left back, such right back, as he can play along anywhere in the back line. Not young defender, but a great defender here. Joins us here to be the backup to Denzel Dumfries in this team. And becoming a final signing of the window here is Adam Verli, Argentinian midfielder, from Porto, as he joining his former Porto teammate Diogo Costa in this team to be back up to Hakan Çalhanoğlu alongside Asllani. So Asllani isn't really growing, he's 23, 77 rated. Obviously, Adam Verli, I believe, is 24, 80 rated, so slightly ahead of Asllani in the development system. So he can be a great backup CDM for us in this team, and also offers us a future replacement to Çalhanoğlu as well, and will be a final signing of this window. Alright, so after bringing the likes of Diogo Costa and Adam Verli into this team, and Takehiro Tomiyasu as well to be backup players for this team, let's see how this new look into team can do. Obviously, last season we won the Champions League, the Super Cup and the Coppa Italia. We were 1 point off winning the Scudetto, so hopefully this season we can do the same again and actually win the Serie A this time around. I'm probably going to sim like 5 seasons in this rebuild and see how many trophies we can win. Obviously, play a Champions League final at the end of the rebuild and see how this team performs. Let's get into season 2 and see how this incredible looking Inter team can do this time round. Alright, so at the end of season 2, as you can see, we finished top of the table, winning the Scudetto this season, beating Milan to the title by a few points. As you can see, a pretty dominant season for us this year in the, obviously, Serie A. In the Super Cup, we defeated AC Milan on penalties, with a 3-0 on penalties there again to win their second Super Cup in a row. In the Coppa Italia, we did not make it to the final of this one. Bologna reached the final. In the Champions League, we didn't make it to the final either. We got knocked out in the not the quarterfinals. We got knocked out. Where are we? That is not what I wanted to do. We got knocked out in the. Let's go back to round of 16 and do this. And this is still the. No, we got knocked out in the. We got knocked out by Spurs 2-1, who actually did beat us in the Super Cup at the start of the season. So they knocked us out the Champions League, beat us to the Super Cup. So we won the league and the Super Cup, but we got knocked out of the Champions League by Spurs, and still lost the Super Cup to them as well. Didn't win the Coppa Italia, but the team is looking insane, as you can see, growth-wise. Now, Toro Martinez, Barella, obviously, Çalhanoğlu, and also Bastoni, all about a 90 rating. I think next season I'm going to start Dumfries to bring in a new right back for the team. Scalvino to win 81. Our backup players looking pretty good. David at 28, still 83. Varela 82, as you can see as well. Some other backup players doing quite well. Ricci up to 71 and 81 as well. You can see Tomiyasu doing pretty good as well for himself. And I did also learn that Petr Sucic and Zalewski again for a second season in a row, because I felt like they needed to be loaned out again. And I think next season I'm going to just keep them on the bench and see how they perform. But stats-wise, now Toro Martinez this time is the top goal scorer, 28 and 6. But Çalhanoğlu from CDM, again, 24 goals and 12 assists, around 20 and 10. Dumfries with 9 goals and 1 assist. Zalewski doing pretty well for himself out on loan at Roma. As you can see, the season, Setri, another player with loaned out as well, doing all right for himself there. DeMarco 4 on 4, Bastoni 4 on 1. Assist-wise, pretty much the same as we saw before. Frattesi up there with 9 assists, Brother 8 assists. You can see Lautaro 6 assists. It's getting to season 3, bringing in me right back to freshen up this team a little bit. And maybe if I get a big offer for Marcus Thuram, I could be tempted to sell into Thuram to bring in a new striker to partner with Lautaro Martinez. But if we don't get a big offer for Thuram, that I feel like is realistic to sell him, then I'll keep him. But Dumfries is probably going to replace next season, and maybe I might bring 1 or 2 more players to the bench. I'm not too sure what we need bench-wise, but maybe another centre-back to partner with Bissek as backup players. But bench-wise, I feel like we're pretty decent. We just need to bring in a new right-back for the team. As Dumfries is now 30, let's get into season 3 and improve this team. And as you can see, we sold Denzel Dumfries to Real Madrid for 66 million, and to replace Denzel Dumfries, we brought in the Frenchman Malo Gusto from Chelsea to take over the right back role in the team as a great young talent. The Frenchman signs for us here to partner up with our defence to make it even better. And we also saw Benjamin Pavard for 92.5 million to Atletico Madrid. And we also signed another Frenchman from the Premier League, and William Saliba, will making the defence even better. One of the best defenders in the world, partnering with Bastoni and Scalvini in the back line. I can see our team is looking insane going into the new season. Let's see as an incredible Inter Milan team can perform after signing Gusto and Saliba. However, despite spending a lot of money on Gusto and obviously Saliba, we finished 5th in the table, quite a few points clear off winning the league title, finishing 5th as getting Europa League football. For next season, we won the Super Cup though. We also won the Coppa Italia, so 2 more trophies domestically in the bag. We didn't compete in the Super Cup. We didn't make it to the final of the Champions League, as you can see. So overall, a pretty disappointing season. However, we're going to go into the next season and hopefully improving Martinez, Calhanoglu, and Thuram have an incredible season. Zalewski on loan at Roma, doing pretty good. For Tessie, doing great in midfield. Let's get into the next season and improve this team even more. And signing for us here in the next season is Rodrigo for 105 million from Real Madrid. The Brazilian side is here to take over the left wing role in this team. We're switching to a 4-3-3 formation with Calhanoglu being a CDM, for Tessie and obviously Brother playing partnership in the centre mid roles in the team. Rodrigo will cut in on his right foot on the left hand side of the team. Will be a great player for us, and for 105 million from Real Madrid to be the main man in this team alongside his fellow winger. See, at Real Madrid, he's kind of lost in the shuffle of Mbappe and Vinicius, but here at Milan, he can be the best player in the team. As you can see, we also sold Thuram to Arsenal for 170 million, and to replace, using that money to replace the gap in the team he did leave and sign a right wing. I thought, why not sign a player from Arsenal once again in Bukayo Saka? We gave them Thuram, we signed Saliba from them, so why not sign Bukayo Saka for about 150 million we have to spend to bring him in from Arsenal? If you're wondering, by the way, I took this part of the video, post commentator all the way up to the final, where the gameplay is actually live commented. For some reason, my mic audio was not recorded for the rest of this video up until the final. I didn't notice up until I checked it at that point, and it wasn't recording. I'm not sure what happened, but for some reason it didn't do so. But I'm waffling. As you can see, we're signing Saka to make this team even more incredible. You can see Rodrigo, Martinez, Saka, Vitesse, Barella, Calhanoglu, DeMarco, Bastoni, Saliba, Gusto, and I see Diogo Costa in there with some great backup players as well. This team is incredible, and let's show you how this team performed in this season. And as you can see, we just about missed out on the league title, finishing 1 point behind AC Milan, top of the table. And you see it's going down to pretty much the final day of the league, and we unfortunately drew there against Torino, which possibly would have cost us a title. We didn't compete in the Super Cup, this season, so we couldn't win that one. In the Coppa Italia, we did win that one, beating Atalanta in the final, you can see there. And I believe this season we were in the Europa League, and we did actually win the Europa League, as you can see, because obviously we finished 5th last season, and we pulled her 2-0 in the final to win the Europa League. Obviously, with the insane team we have, we should have won the Europa League. Obviously, but the team is looking insane at this point. As you can see, pretty much everyone is 90%, other than Calhanoglu, who's been going down in his overall. Gusto as well. See, Costa is on his way there if he isn't 90 rated as well. And the bench is looking pretty good with Brian Trincao, as you saw as well. I think you did see with Brian Trincao as a backup player at some point, obviously to be backup player to Bukayo Saka. That's why I brought him in. And the team at this point is looking insane. And at that point, I was kind of talking about Gusto not growing that much. He's only an 85 rating. And I thought he would go higher rated fairly quickly. I can see Saka had an incredible season. Same with Rodrigo in their first campaign at Inter, doing incredible things. Lautaro Martinez continuing his just insane goal scoring record. For Tessie doing quite well. As Calhanoglu dropping down in the overall, losing his insane numbers. Obviously, the past couple of seasons, he was doing insane from the CDM role, scoring goals and assists. But in the next season, we're brought in a final signing of this rebuild. Obviously, the man is known as Cold Palmer, who scored in, I believe, did he score in the Conference League final? I think he did score in the Conference League final, if I'm not mistaken, right, for Chelsea, and helped him win that. We're hoping he'll do the same for us here in this rebuild here at Inter, signing for us to be the cam in the team. So we're dropping Calhanoglu down to the bench to be a backup centre base of CDM, and Palmer takes over the cam role in the team, 90 rated. I believe we spent like 130 million on him to join the team, so a very, very great player. As you can see, to end the season, we finished top of the table, and we looked incredible, quite a dominant win in the league. You can see right there, Milan, quite a few points behind us in the second position. In the Super Cup, we didn't compete in that one, unfortunately. In the Coppa Italia, we won that once again. We won that trophy so much. We won the Super Cup as well against AC Milan at the start of the season, so a great thing there. And you can see in the Champions League final, we're going to be taking on Arsenal in the final here. Obviously, at the start of the video, we'll beat PSG in the final to win the Champions League. So hopefully, we can do the same here and beat Arsenal. And see, the team is again saying only one player below the 90 rating in the starting 11. That is Malo Gusto, who is 86 rated at this point. And while this team is again saying, you can see Lautaro Martinez 95, Saka, I believe 92 or 93, and obviously Palmer 91, Rodrigo 93, and some insane ratings in the team. And stats wise, Lautaro Martinez an insane season, you can see 43 and 10, and also Rodrigo 33, sorry, and 20 there from him. Two players that could possibly win the Ballon d'Or. Saka having a great season as well, and Cole Palmer doing great in his first season at Inter. Well, let's get into the Champions League final here in a second before we get into it. Here is the Arsenal. We're a very interesting looking Arsenal team. As the Sunset Thuram, McAllister, Gamorich will be playing in the team, as Martinez as well. But let's send you over to the live commentary for the actual game and show you what happened. Probably in his like mid to late 30s now. Well, I should say mid 30s. He's probably like 33, 34 at this stage. Here's Odegaard. There's Malo Gusto, great defending no, so lowest rated player in the team. It's still a decently rated player, 86 rated. Here's DeMarco. As he had an awful performance in the Champions League final IRL, but here's Cole Palmer. Palmer here, lays it off here to Lautaro Martinez. Lautaro finesse shot, wide of the post. Back into Odegaard, in here to Thuram. Thuram blocked by Saliba. Goes back there to them, and there's Saliba again. It's nice to have Saliba on my team for once, instead of playing against him. Like, he's so annoying to play against. So, it's nice to have him actually in my team. But here goes Saka. If I do score with Saka or Saliba, I will do the show respect celebration. But Lautaro Martinez, power shot plus here. Denied by David Raya. DeMarco also has it. Here's Rodrigo. Rodrigo, good cut inside there. Great shot, and that's an incredible finish from Rodrigo to make it 1-0. And then when we're brought in from Real Madrid to take over the left-hand side of the team here, scores to make it 1-0 in this final here. And what a finish this is. Cuts inside here. And on his right foot there, just places it with power and precision in off the post. David Raya got close to it, but not enough. And Rodrigo, the Brazilian, puts us 1-0 up here. And that was a great goal as well. Thuram here into McAllister, back to Nico Williams. Bastoni couldn't make the challenge on Thuram here. Thuram's still going through over here, back to Thuram, and that's going to be 1-1 straight from kick-off. Arsenal equalise. And I felt like we should have stopped it, but it's a kick-off goal, so it is where it is, man. The fact that EA say that kick-off glitches aren't a thing, and just look at this, man. Like, obviously for me it didn't work out there, but the kick-off in this game is so overpowered, man. Like, literally, especially for the AI on Ultimate, like, most of the time they will score straight from kick-off because they just walk forward and you can't tackle them for some reason. They have like an invincibility about them. And here is Thuram. And when they put them level, trying to put them ahead. And that's through here to Trossard, and that's a good save there from Costa. The ball kind of just hit him, but it's a save technically. And that's a particular kick attempt there, saved by Diogo Costa, playing for the same nation. Thuram, oh, it's a great way there from Thuram here, going through. Trossard. Odegaard here. It is Bastoni intercepting. Saka to Palmer. Palmer into Lautaro Martinez. Incisive pass plus there. Into Lautaro Martinez, who makes it 2-1. The captain couldn't do it IRL for Inter today. Well, the day after I'm recording this actually technically. But Lautaro Martinez, with the assist from Cole Palmer, makes it 3-1. 2-1, sorry. And puts us back ahead in this game. You'd love to see it. But we need to defend the kickoff. That's the issue. I just feel like this game's going to have like about 80 million goals because the kickoff for the AI is going to be insane. If they don't score from this kickoff, then it'll be a miracle. As you can see right now, they're just literally walking forward and they're probably going to score here. Nico Williams into Thuram, and what I say there from Costa. Start the second half of the kickoff here for Arsenal. Ball through here to Trossard. Bastoni can't make the block, but Costa makes a good save. Nico Williams in it to Thuram, and that's going to be a great interception there from Saliba. Oh, there's no way out for us here right now. We're just being swarmed by Arsenal players, and there's just nowhere to go. Nico Williams. That's going to be a penalty. Bastoni gives away the penalty, and there's not going to be a card, thankfully, for us here. I think he's falling over before the challenge that she's made there, not going to lie, but the referee believes it was a pen. Costa makes a save to keep us ahead, and Costa comes out and collects. That was a big save there from the penalty spot from him. Bastoni. Brother here to Rodrigo. Ball in here to Lautaro Martinez. Lautaro cuts inside. A great chop there and a great finish. This team is just incredible, man. Obviously, literally everyone but one player is 90 plus rated. And many of these players are some of the best players in the game. Rodrigo, Lautaro Martinez, Cole Palmer, Bukayo Saka. So the best players in this game for career mode, etc. And just a game in general. But that finisher for Martin is insane. The chop inside is great as well. And we're 3-1 up here in the final. And Martin is on for a hat-trick. The question is, are Arsenal going to score more goals? Because I feel like they have more goals in them in this game. Here is Nico Williams. He might have won a penalty, but it wasn't converted by Alexis McAllister. Here he is. Here is McAllister. And that's going to be great defending there from Nicola Barella here. Stepping in. A power shot plus is a play style. But here is Nicola Barella here. Lovely turn there from him. Here is Cole Palmer back here to Fratesi. Barella on the turn here is Rodrigo when that's 4-1. The football we're playing here is incredible. And Rodrigo's going to hit the Sue to make it 4-1 there. The Brazilian strikes again in this game. I knew when I signed him he would be perfect for this team in the left wing role, and he's been incredible for us. I genuinely recommend in your career as you sign Rodrigo to play left wing, make him an inside forward, and he'll do stuff like this for you. Just get into the right positions and score goals easily as this. He's so good in this game. Honestly, playing at the in the right wing position is right footed, so he doesn't really get the best opportunity to score goals unless you cut inside and hit it a cross goal into the far corner. But they're finessing on his right foot into the bottom corner like that. It's just so much easier to score goals with him. But here is Thuram. Speaking of scoring goals, they might do here. As Thuram's found his way through Thuram. But there is Costa coming out and stopping him. For a second I thought they were give a pen. But Gusto does well there. Here's Odegaard looking for Thuram here. Bastoni knew exactly what he wanted to do there and stopped him. But Nico Williams, is it Nico Williams still? No, it's someone different playing the left wing, right wing role. Sorry, now. Ball into the box, they're looking for Thuram. His header is going to be saved there by Costa. Now it's going to be the end of the game. It's a 4-1 victory here for Inter in the final. And this team was incredible in this final, by the way. Everyone in this team was great. I mean, Mauro Gusto was actually still pretty good for 86 rated. It was still pretty good. A 4-1 victory. Rodrigo at the double, I believe. And Martinez also with 2 goals. Gets the victory here, and Inter lost the final IRL. We're here in this rebuild. We win 2 Champions Leagues and many trophies in Italy. I lost count by how many it was. We won like 2 or 3 league, I think 2 league titles, like 4 Super Cups, maybe 4 Coppa Italias or 4 or 5 Coppa Italias. We won like 2 UEFA Super Cups. We won like 10 plus trophies in this rebuild, but it's still a Ballon d'Or for grabs. And one of our players could get it. Obviously, Rodrigo scoring 2 goals in the final. Lautaro Martinez, the captain, gets a lift to Champions League. Also scored 2 goals. And we're going to sim to November to see end of the rebuild which of these players, Lautaro Martinez or Rodrigo, gets to lift the Ballon d'Or to round off this rebuild. Let's go to the Ballon d'Or ceremony and see if any of our players are going to be gifted a Ballon d'Or award. And here we are to end the rebuild with the Ballon d'Or ceremony. Rivaldo and Cannavaro, I believe, the 2 players here. And it's going to be Lautaro Martinez who wins the Ballon d'Or with 43 goals and I believe 10 assists he had last season. It makes sense getting 2 goals in the Champions League final as well. And Lautaro Martinez, 95 rated, the captain of Inter Milan, ends the rebuild not only winning the Champions League, but by also being crowned the best player in the world with a Ballon d'Or trophy going to him And what a way to end this rebuild. Like and subscribe if you did enjoy it. Check out the other Chroma content I post and some Ultimate Team content I've been posting during Team of the Season, some pack openings. And what a way to end it into rebuild. And comment down below who I should rebuild next.